Welcome to the Crockett Cup. Not two, almost botched that again. Guys, a strong ending. That's the title of this video, and I gotta make this clear. Because I'm sure somebody out there is gonna start comparing. Is this quality better than AEW or Impact Wrestling or WWE or MLW? Guys, see it for what it is. It's a pay-per-view from a promotion that did a good showing. Night 1 and 2 were good. It doesn't make a difference if they're near the quality of everybody else. As long as they did good quality that you can enjoy. Now mind you, several problems were there. First one was part of the stream, I believe it was Fight Network's stream itself. It was having problems of dropping and started distorting, and I believe I got a shot of it into my face. That was there. It was periodically doing that. Not a lot, but a little bit. So if you're going to watch this and you want to know is there any type of problem that came out in the Fight Network when it first aired, yes. When they replay it, you're probably going to see it because that is what happened. 2, camera work was still the same. You're still getting this periodically. In some cases, when they're moving forward, the camera work goes in really quick. Sorry. But that is also what you're going to get. Period. Either you're going to have a problem with Fight Network's own stream, the camera work still being an issue, and when they went outside the lighting of the ring. I mean, with it 10 feet past where the 5 feet gap between the ring and the guardrails is, there was almost no lighting. So when you see certain things that happen beyond that, it gets very dim and it doesn't look very good. So you can easily say that. But the audio seemed to be fine. There was no problem with the audio. I can easily say the audio was actually quite good compared to some other promotions. They did a good job with the audio. And that does mean a lot, guys. If you can't hear what's going on as well as see it, why do you care? So, kickoff show. We have Miz versus AJ Kazan, who's a third generation wrestler. I didn't expect Miz to lose. Miz is very popular. Miz is what people like. And one of these days, he's going to win a championship. He's got enough charisma, enough of a following that they will eventually throw either the television or the national title on him. I don't think he'll go into I don't think they're going to put him into a tag to win the titles there. It will be a singles thing. He will probably win either the TV or the national title eventually. It will happen. Now, we got what do we got here? A 9-man, let me give it to you like this. When it came to Team War, it was 9 men, 3 in each. We had Magic Jake and the Fixers, Gold Rush with Black G's, and we had OGK as well as for Scion. Now, since OGK was already knocked out of the tournament weeks ago by the Fixers, this was a chance to actually have some opportunity to be together. And since the OGK could not win and they were very popular, they won with Scion. They were the last one standing, so they won. You could say that's 50-50 booking, but that's if it was back to back to back. I want to make it clear. 50-50 booking only happens if 1 week, one team wins or a person wins, then the next week, the same thing, and the next week. This was several weeks separated, so you can't really say it's 50-50 booking, but there's some people going to say it is. Now, the next match was the Alex Taylor versus PJ, not BJ, PJ Hawk. Now, Captain Yuma was him. Here's the thing. Sin says saying Luke has concussion. He's not going to be with his son. This is his chance to really see how well he can do as a singles competitor for a little while. Counting if he really did concuss or not. I don't think he did. But if he was hurt or concussed, this will be a good opportunity for PJ to really show what he can do on his own. Where he's going to work on eventually his ring style. Maybe he'll increase his physique. As I said before, this is a chance for him to really improve himself if his father is not going to be there. If they're giving a little time off, or if he's actually hurt, this is good for him. Now, PJ won. And Taylor got so angry, Alex Taylor decided to nail Captain Yuma. You wonder how far they're going to go with this story where Captain Yuma, who started the Ill-Begotten, is going to stay with the Ill-Begotten, because Plunkett looks like he wants to take control of it and everyone else doesn't respect him anymore. So the question is going to be, after he was laid out by Alex Taylor, what happens now? I'm just saying. Let's see here. Main card, that is the semifinals for the Crockett Cup. You got the 11th seed, which was the Cardonas, versus the 2nd seed, which were the Briscoes.
Who did you think was going to win?
There was no way the Briscoes were going to lose this. Now, the question was going to be, was the performance of Mike Knox and VSK good? VSK performed much better than Mike Knox. Don't take anything from Mike. He's not bad for a big guy. But VSK has always been a question for me when he's not with Brian Myers or Matt Cardona. What can he actually do? Now, I've not seen him much because I don't watch other indie wrestling constantly. I admit, I am considering once a week to check, if I can, a different promotion, maybe once a week, just to see what it is. Not to do constant reviews of that promotion, just to get a good gauge, unless I do decide to, but maybe just look around at different promotions, see what it's like. You guys can give me a comment below if you think that's a good idea or not. I don't know if I can do it because I'm always doing wrestling reviews and I'm going to the doctor, and even though I'm stuck right now and I can't get my animation done at this moment, I am still working on my animation. So when I get time, I'll see if I can get it done. But we know the Briscoes are going to win, and they go into the finals. Now, the next match was the 2nd semifinals when you got La Rebellion versus Doug and Harry, the Commonwealth. I'm going to say this. Was it a good match? Yes. Catch Cam wrestling and Dungeon Stu Hart wrestling versus Lucha Libre. Now, here was one problem I saw that came from Doug Williams. Doug Williams is a very good Catch Cam wrestler at his age. There's no denying it, even though he's in his early 50s or maybe late 40s, early 50s. He's maybe my age or maybe just slightly older or maybe slightly younger. Either he's my age, older or younger. I don't think he's like 55, 56. I think he's like either 48 to maybe 50 or 51, because I'll be 51 this year. But here was the problem. He is very good with hold and chain wrestling. But when it comes to something very athletic, where it's kind of like trying to do a flip or a handstand or something, he can't do it. When he got his head locked into a leg scissor, I believe it was, who was it that got him in that leg scissor? Was it Bestia 666? I believe he got him into that. He tried to do a handstand and kick out of it. He couldn't do it. He just does not have that kind of physicality anymore. He used to be able to do it maybe 10 years ago, but he can't really do it now. He did barely a jump, like a less than this, off the mat, guys. Usually guys would do it this much. You can see where my hands are. Like this much easily, they can get the legs off the ground. He couldn't do it anymore. He was trying to, but he's too heavy, and his body just does not have that flexibility anymore. He can't do it. Now, it doesn't mean he isn't still a great wrestler, a great catch cam wrestler. It's just that when it comes to more athletic, where he's got to be more explosive, to be more agile, he just can't do it. So if you look beyond that, you can still get some enjoyment out of Doug. But I don't think everyone's going to like it. I saw it for what it was. You got an older wrestler who's nearly winding down his time. He can't do most of what he does, but he does try. At least some will try and try to keep it at a good level. In this situation, just didn't make it work. Now, La Rebellion didn't want. Do I think Bestia 666 and Mega Wolf should have won? Honestly, if it wasn't for the Briscoes being in the tournament, I would have said it would have been better for this match to be at the end. Honestly. It should have been at the end. But the Briscoes were there, and I can understand why La Rebellion lost. There was just no way they're going to win it. They're still champions. They're still holding the old original titles, the classic ones and the current ones. Understandable. Now, National Championship. Oh, this one was actually quite surprising. Jax Dean versus Anthony Mayweather. Our Crimson, if you will. Was this a decent match? The story was about Crimson hurting his leg and Jax Dean doing everything he can to injure him. Flat out, that was the deal. And Jax Dean lost. Flat out, he lost. But he started smiling, and I believe I got a shot of it. It's in my face. He was smiling due to the fact that a lot of people didn't remember about the Champion Series. I do remember the Champion Series, and he never cashed in. Now, mind you, this is where it gets a little bit, for me, I believe it gets a little bit fuzzy, because as far as I know, and I could be wrong about the time period, that was only supposed to last a year. Now, I don't remember how much time it's been. I think it was in June or around this time that the Champion Series happened. I can't remember when. It probably happened around maybe June. I'm not remembering very well because there was a lot going on last year that pretty much I blank on. So I don't remember if it was around March or was it around June that the Champion Series actually happened. If it did, then they're within the time period where he could still cash in. And that is exactly what he did. After the match was over, while Mayweather is being carried away under his own power barely, he gets his ass beat up in the crowd. And then when he's thrown back into the ring, Jax Dean says clearly, I'm calling my shot right now. Champion Series match. I want it now. He whoops his ass right before the bell rings and he wins the title. And he screams at Kyle Davis to say those words he wants to say, that he is the new reigning national heavyweight champion. Jax Dean holding his title up. I believe I got a shot of that in my face. Now, will everyone like that? The story wasn't too bad. It wasn't. Was it dragged out over nearly, 7 months? 8 months? Maybe 9? I can't remember how many months it's been since last year, because this happened last year around maybe, I think May or June, when Mayweather and Jax Dean went their ways. And that was a little bit earlier than that. A little more than 9 months, maybe up to a year now. Because I think they broke up near the beginning of 2021. The Champion Series happened. They were already separated. And Jax Dean at one point had his chance to try and get the title, but could not get it because Mayweather interfered with it. So he finally gets it. Now, is it good? I think it's not bad. I'm not saying it was perfect storytelling, but it was long-term storytelling, and I commend Billy Corgan. William Patrick Corgan, I thank you for a long-term booking. It may not have been perfect booking, but it was good booking. Now, next, we get this, I believe, was the weakest match of the show. Not because the match quality was bad. It was because, since, for me personally, like I said, I didn't see Power Trip last week, and I didn't see USA. I didn't see either one of them. So anything that happened when it comes to the Hex, if they were on Power or USA, I was not privy to seeing it. So you got the Hex versus Kenzie Page, who's now turned heel, with Envy. I don't remember the first name of her. They look interesting. Now, Kenzie has been a face for quite a while. She's been a darling of NWA. I can say this. Was she playing up her heel role? Yeah. She was screaming her head off, making it very clear she wanted to abuse those women. Was she doing a good job as a heel as it pertained to changing her style? Her style still stayed the same. It's Kenzie Page. Doesn't mean she had a bad style. It's just that now she's just added an attitude with the style. In the end, I did not expect the Hex to lose. And that's due to the fact that if anything had happened, I wasn't sure. Like I said, I didn't see Power or USA last week, so I couldn't say that they were going to lose due to the fact I didn't know if there was some type of problem a week before. So I had to take a guess. And that guess was they weren't going to lose, and there you go. Now, the finals of the Junior Heavyweight Championship, the 225-pounder division, which you could say the precursor to the X division and the cruiserweights, because it came out in 1948. They made it very clear in NWA when this first came out, when they brought in Lockhart, when they brought in Ace Austin, when they brought in Homicide, and when they brought in Kobe Carino. They said in 1948, when the titles were established, there was only 2 titles. There were no tag titles yet. There was the World Championship and the Junior Heavyweight Championship. The Beyond 230-pounder for the World Championship, and 225 and under. That's the way it went. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. The vid pack they showed before the Junior Heavyweight Tournament was fine. Here, they just repeated it, which was fine. I didn't have a problem with the Junior Heavyweight Championship video packs they had on USA. It was alright. So seeing it here was the wisest thing to do. But I got to say this. You want to know who I thought was going to win? I thought it was either going to be, not Ace Austin. Why did I say Ace Austin? Austin Aries. I'm sorry, guys. If I said Ace Austin, I'm sorry. Austin Aries. Now, I get Austin Aries and Ace Austin a little mixed up. But I thought Austin Aries, maybe Kobe Carino. I didn't expect Homicide, and I wasn't sure about Lockhart. I was not sure. He was a dark horse in it because he's someone I've not seen before. They have not shown him he hasn't been on USA other than that match he did, and he has not been on Power. So I didn't expect to see him there unless he was going to be there on the episodes I did not see. That's the reason why he was a dark horse to me. But they gave it to Homicide on his birthday. He got his mouth busted open during the match. And the match quality itself, it was mostly between the 2 younger guys trying to prove that they can take out the 2 older guys, and the 2 older guys and Austin Aries and the Homicide, that they can one-up one another. So now, Homicide, a legend in his own right, now holds the Junior Heavyweight title of NWA. Now, mind you, like I said, I thought Austin Aries would be the best person to win it. And I thought maybe Kobe Carino. I wasn't thinking about Lockhart, so I thought last was going to be Homicide. I truly believed Austin Aries was going to win it, because he is a veteran. He's won multiple championships. We haven't really seen a lot of him, and I was hoping that he would be on USA and Power with the Junior Heavyweight Championship. But now it's going to be Homicide. Either he's going to be on USA exclusively with that title, and maybe Austin Aries will still be on USA and he'll be working with him, or he'll also be seen on Power. I don't know. But congratulations to Homicide, particularly on his birthday. Don't know how old he is. I think he's nearly 50, I think he's either my age or he's near my age, or maybe a little bit older. I'm not sure. Now, the surprising match, which was actually pretty good, I think it was one of the most highlighted matches. If you have not seen this, if you're considering seeing it, this is the match, one of the matches, you should see it for the reasons there. And that is the 3-way for the Women's Heavyweight Championship for the Burke. You got the Brick House of the Camille. You got Smiley Kylie. And then you got the hot mess of Chelsea Green. And she doesn't have a cast on her hand. Her hand is better, it seems. So, what does this mean? This means that when you see WWE wrestling, you need to see this match first. And you can compare the match there to the match here. Also AEW. Compare this match here to them. And even Impact. Because if you compare this match compared to all those other promotions, you'll easily see it's top tier. This was a top tier match. Was it slow at first? Yes. And it's mostly due to Camille. Camille is a bigger wrestler. She's a former football player. She is not agile. She's strong and she's fast, but agility is not her strong suit. But I still believe that she's a very good wrestler for what she is. Then you got Smiley Kylie Ray. She is very agile, very noisy, and very nutty, which makes you wonder when she snaps. And then you have the hot mess, which I've been saying for so long that they need to finally move her over to Impact with that same character. Particularly what happened at the end of the show, maybe it will finally filter over now. But you never know for Chelsea Green. But this match was damn good. By the middle of the match, nearing the end, it was very good. It was. At one point, you got a crossface on both women. And that is Camille and Chelsea Green by Kylie Ray. She snaps and she throws it on them. And I believe I got a shot of it. It's in my face. It was very nice. Now, was it totally believable? No. But it's not the point to be always totally believable. It is meant to be what it is. A little bit of spectacle. If you're not able to handle that, you shouldn't be watching wrestling. Because you know they're going to do some spectacle in between actual real wrestling and psychology of the match. And the crowds were building and building and building. And I'm telling you, by the end of it, the crowd loved it. But they were not happy Camille won because they wanted Kylie Ray to win. They wanted Kylie Ray to win. And in the end, it was Camille. And a man came in, bowing to her like one of her servants, her consort, giving her kisses, swinging her around. Nothing wrong with that. But then during the match, they were talking about the possible split up of Strictly Business. So hopefully when I get a chance to see it next week, and that will be Power and USA together, I'll see if Strictly Business is going to be broken apart or not. We'll find out soon. Now, here is the weakest match. And I'm not saying it because I hate them both. I'm saying it was the weakest match. The TV title of Rodney Mack and Tyrus. Now, the beginning of the match was actually pretty decent because when it came to Tyrus dealing with, and I got to say this, Tyrus looked a little bit skinnier. Now, I'm not saying he's lost a tremendous amount of weight. He looks like he's a little skinnier, but it does not mean he isn't still very heavy set, because he is. Then you have Rodney Mack, who, honestly, the guy's in his 50s. It is obviously, he's older than me. I think he's 55 years old. He still wrestles. To a certain extent, he still has a good amount of agility, some good ring work, but when you see him against Tyrus, who's younger than me, he's in his 40s, maybe 47, 48. No, I think he's 46 or 48 years old. He's not 50 yet. He's still in his 40s. And you see about to say Willie Mack, Rodney Mack. It's obvious there's a stark difference of stamina. Now, mind you, Tyrus doesn't have great stamina. Neither does Rodney. Neither one of them have great stamina. They tried. At one point, Tyrus decides to get up on the second turn rope so he can allow Rodney to superplex him. And you could see his legs shaking and the ropes shaking because he is over 300 pounds. He does not usually get up on the ropes. He doesn't, especially at his age now. He used to when he was the Fuckosaurus back in WWE, back in 2012 or something. He was young enough to be able to do something like that, even though he wasn't great at it. But clearly now, he's a lot more ginger up on the top ropes because he's more heavier and he doesn't have the same stamina, particularly when he was younger. His stamina was much better than it is now. So once he got slammed, you could see, even though a lot of people did cheer for Rodney Mack when he did that, the match really was not one of the highlights of the show. It just wasn't. And I'm not taking anything against Rodney or against Tyrus. They did try, guys. They did. But it was not the strongest match there. It just wasn't. It wasn't. I'm just saying, and Tyrus retains. Now, here's the interesting thing. Tyrus is now won the 6th match. But he's already made it very clear he has no interest in cashing in his title when it comes up to the 7th win. He don't care. Even if he gets a 7th win, he's not cashing in to try and go after the world title. He's not doing it. That's what we got, at least until that title's dropped. So let's move on. Let's see what's next. The finals for the Crockett Cup. The Briscoes versus the Commonwealth. Now, they showed a lot of respect to each other. Kind of like, I didn't say this, when you see Tyrus and Rodney Mack. Tyrus showed respect to him, shaking his hand. He respected him. Same thing here with the Briscoes and the Commonwealth. They showed each other respect, and they went all out in this match. Now, mind you, as I said before about Doug Williams, he just cannot do agility. He can still be fast and powerful. He can still be explosive, but agility is not his strong suit. So when you see this match, when it comes to the Briscoes, they had to compensate for that. They had to sell a little bit more for him because he is an older wrestler. And he's not as agile as he used to be. He's still great when it comes to holds. And once it came to the Briscoes dealing with that, they did a great job compensating for it. But I didn't expect the Commonwealth to win there because, honestly, I'd rather see the Commonwealth try and go after La Rebellion and try to get the titles there. I did not expect them to win the Crockett Cup and then just disappear. I hope that they will be on Power or USA dealing with La Rebellion. So you will see good speed from the Briscoes. You will see a lot of power from David Hart Smith. Or David. Harry, not David. Harry Smith. I always get David Hart Smith and Harry mixed up. But the point is, he did good power work. But I will say this. He did the same thing as he did in one of the other matches. He put someone up like he was going to suplex. And he tried to bend like to do a squat with them. He can't do that. He's a strong wrestler, but he doesn't have the strength. It's like me trying to squat someone, and I'm going like this, and my legs are shaking due to the fact of my hip being totally screwed up. He was doing that. And I think he did that at one point in the match. But you will like the match. Doug Williams did well. You got Harry did well. And the Briscoes did well. It wasn't the greatest 5-star match. But it came close. I say 4.5 stars. For me personally, it was a damn good match. Easy on par with the women's match. Easy on par. You would like both these matches. 100%. There's no problem. And the Briscoes won. And then when David Crockett came up and presented the cup to them, there was really a nice moment. And he was on commentary. And it felt very special. Now, I don't know if any of the other reviewers are going to understand what this really means. Because now that the NWA is doing the Crockett Cup, other than the promotion that the Crockett's originally had, it really does give you something special. Now, finally, the final match. The final match, which is Matt Cardona versus Nick Aldous. Now, earlier tonight, you see Trevor Murdoch come out, angry beyond stink and pissed at Nick Aldis running quick to try and get the option of going after that title because he was owed a rematch, but he never cashed in. He never did. And he got mad at him that he was ready to jump at that title while I'm still bleeding like a stuffed pig in the back. Then he got mad at Matt Cardona doing what he did to him, making him bleed like a stuffed pig. And then he got mad at the fans for cheering for Matt Cardona, making him bleed like a stuffed pig and cheering for him. So he said, I don't care who wins, I'm coming for you. Now, does this mean that Trevor Murdoch is going to be heel? I think there's a possibility he's going to be very bitter and he could turn heel. In fact, I think he's overdue for a heel turn to see if he can actually pull one off. To be one hell of an angry person that is going to do whatever he takes to get his title back because he got screwed over and he's never been given a fair shot. So he has a reason to get angry and then turn heel. So, was this match with Jeff Jarrett as the guest referee good? Here's where a lot of people are not going to be happy about this. There's a lot of people going to say this was too damn theatrical. It was a piece of garbage seeing Jeff Jarrett there. if the Slag Daddy watched NWA, he would see Jeff Jarrett in all his spectacle. I would love him to see Jeff Jarrett and do the assumed Jeff Jarrett position. But I doubt he will look at the NWA for that match. Now, if he does, I will be happy and I will watch that damn review. But what did we get? We got Matt Cardona doing whatever he could to get himself disqualified, trying to piss off Jeff Jarrett, trying to walk away with the title and try to get a count out. And Jeff said no. Double J said no. We will have a definitive winner. He told them in the beginning of the match before pretty much Nick got ambushed before the bell rang. He said, we're getting a definitive winner. And when Matt Cardona tried to walk away, he said, clearly Jeff Jarrett said, no. Get your ass back in this ring. I'm not counting you out. We will have a champion. We will have a winner. And after that, Matt kept trying his best to try and screw Jeff Jarrett, trying to piss with him, trying to screw with him, try to piss him off to the point where he would disqualify him, and it didn't work. Jeff refused. At one point, we got the Cardonas coming out, we got Chelsea Green coming out, we got the Commonwealth coming out to fight the Cardonas, and then we had, after I believe I got the shot, is a nut shot to Jeff Jarrett, we got a Mickie James throwing out the ring a Chelsea Green, and then you see a Jeff Jarrett thinking that Mickie James had nut shotted him and gave the match a DQ. DQ'd the match. Matt Cardona wins by disqualification because he believed that Mickie James nut shotted him because he didn't know who did it. He knows someone nut shotted him. Mickie James was in the ring after Chelsea Green was thrown out, so he blamed her. He ended the match. Done. The crowd was mad as shit. And I'm going, they got out of that one very interestingly. So, was this a good show over 2 days? Yes. The first night with the tournament was actually quite good. It was. You'll enjoy most of the matches there. If there will be something that you'll like. Either you like some theatrics when it came to the Dirty Dogs dealing with Stevens and the Blue Meanie, or you'll see every other type of match. Here, this was a good thing. You're going to enjoy this. It had a strong ending. You had about 3 matches easily that was good, except for the Tyrus and Rodney Mack. That was the weakest match. Now, mind you, you got 2 guys, one that's in his 50s, who doesn't have the highest level of stamina, and then you got another guy who's in his 40s, who's quite heavy set, who doesn't have great stamina either. And the story there was, well, for me, wasn't really there due to the fact I did not see last week. So if there was a story that could have been connected to this to make it more interesting for me, didn't see it. So for me, it is the weakest match there. The best match, best matches, the triple threat for the women, the Briscoes going up against the Commonwealth. Let me see here. The Junior Heavyweight Championship was a surprise. Homicide on his birthday wins it. And what else would I say? Jax Dean versus a Anthony Mayweather. That was a nice twist. So I could say 4 matches there easily was very good with a twist on the side. You could easily find something there that would be interesting that you can enjoy. And if you don't enjoy it, well, I can't tell you nothing. There's nothing I can do but just say, well, don't watch NWA. Find another promotion that you like that has more blood, gore, or more action and more agile wrestling. But this is just me, and I hope you enjoy this Crockett Cup 2022 Part 2 review. Please give me a comment below. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I didn't breathe barely at all when I was doing all that. Peace.